Voyages Scarlet Lady 2020. Top things. That's what we're discussing today. The top things you need to know.
Yeah.
I'm Tanya.
I'm Dave.
And we are Turn It Up World. We first want to say thank you so much for joining us here. We're a fun travel couple that shares our travel and adventures. We do live streams like this one. This is a live stream. And we do them every Wednesday, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time.
Except for this week.
Except for this week. So we're doing it today, which is Tuesday, because we have a trip coming up that we will be preparing for tomorrow. So we're doing it today. So hey, welcome. And if you're joining us for this live stream, thank you so much. And if you have some information and tidbits and things that you can share about cruises, feel free to share those. We'd love to hear that. Or if you're booked for a cruise, or this one in particular, and you have some information, share that with us. We'd love to have that discussion. This is what it's all about tonight. And if you're watching this after the live stream, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get notified every time we post a cool live stream like this one. So why are we doing this video today?
Well, we are going on a cruise.
Yeah!
It's my first cruise. Is your first cruise?
It's my first cruise.
Right, our first cruise together. Well,
Yes.
first cruise actually
At all.
together. So, yeah,
First
apart
cruise
from
at
kind
all.
of paddling a canoe or something like that.
Well, yeah, that's
right?
true.
And of course, it's Virgin Voyages. Their
Their
first cruise, their first ship.
Yes.
Everything about it. So I'm excited for Richard Branson's take on the cruise industry. What's he going to do, right? So
yeah, we're going to be going on the Virgin Voyages, the Scarlet Lady, as you can already tell from the title, which is their first ship to set sail. And we're going to be joining that inaugural kind of kickoff in the next couple of months. Now, we've done some research for sure, and I've actually called some of the crew members to get some additional information, kind of prepare us for this trip. And we figured this is a good opportunity for us to come on here before we dive into and get on that ship to discuss some of the things that we think are important to us, that if you're jumping on this cruise could be important to you.
yeah, sounds
Right?
good.
So we should probably just jump right into this. You want to kick this off?
Sure. Well, do you want to talk a little bit about
Let's talk about the ship,
the ship?
right?
And the ship is interesting, right? It's the theme, of course, the name of the ship is Scarlet Lady,
Yes.
which is very kind of Richard Branson, right?
Oh, heck
and kind of
yeah.
the beautiful kind of red kind of silhouette, drawing that goes on the side of the ship, which is
yes,
very
the mermaid.
impressive.
The mermaid.
The mermaid. It's the mermaid. Very nice. Very
yeah,
nice.
so it's really interesting because their ships are basically going to be the lady ships.
The lady
they
ship,
have,
of
and this is the
course.
first one, which is the Scarlet Lady, which is the one that we're going on. It's very interesting because there's 4 ships that are in order.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the other ones because I really kind of concentrated our efforts on this
Right.
one.
I think the second one is Valiant Lady,
Valiant
which
Lady.
is sailing the Mediterranean
Yes.
starting in 21,
21.
right? And Scarlet Lady is really focused on the Caribbean and things around there.
Yeah. Isn't
you
she
know,
beautiful though? I mean, look at
absolutely
those
gorgeous.
fine lines. I mean, that is a very impressive ship with some gorgeous curves. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, very nice curves.
Now, what's interesting about this particular ship is that it is a adults only.
Yeah, adults only. Yeah.
Okay.
And what's interesting too about the design is that it's really, if you look at it, it looks more like a yacht in a way,
Yes.
right? And it's really meant to be designed to kind of be more like a yacht experience versus the traditional kind of cruise ship.
Yeah, and I
Right.
bet you Branson probably had a big hand in that to kind of
Yeah.
mimic some of his yachts.
Exactly, exactly. And it also sounds as though you brought in designers that were kind of more from the yacht world and things like that versus, say, the cruise ship industry necessarily. So,
Oh, yeah.
pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, gorgeous and very, very sleek in its design.
Yeah.
I think they're actually doing currently, they're kind of test running it at this stage. I think it started from Italy and it's going to like different ports in
Yeah.
London, and then it's heading to like New York, and then kind of finally rounding itself back into Miami. And I did notice a lot of the I guess crew, I guess you'd call them, even the president of Virgin Voyage, were kind of posting things about if you wanted to catch a glimpse
Right.
of the Virgin Voyage, you can show up at one of those destinations that they were showing up at.
Exactly. It was over in Dover now or something
Yeah.
in United Kingdom. And then you can catch it in New York though, right? Not too far off.
Exactly. You want to catch New York, you can catch her now. They did have some passes, I think, at the moment, but they're all
Right.
kind of booked up that you can actually, when it does dock, you could have gone inside and actually
Right.
scoped it out a little bit, but I think they kind of booked up those passes pretty quickly. I tried to look to see, and unfortunately, I'm sorry, guys, I couldn't get inside there.
Right.
But we'll be on there in a couple months. So.
Yeah, it's coming up.
It's
One
really
cool
coming
thing
up.
about the ship design too is that they really made sure that almost every room had a balcony.
Yes.
Right? So quite different. What is it, like something like 86%?
86%.
86% have actual balconies.
Exactly.
Which is pretty cool.
Very cool. And about 93% of them have ocean views.
Right. So not many inside-only rooms.
Correct.
Right?
Which is kind of like the
closet.
Standard. Exactly.
Right?
Like
The
the
closet.
standard ships, it's like either you have a huge budget to get those really crisp views or the bare minimum.
Right. Now they do have some unbelievable suites as well, which are kind of that upper level of kind of what do they call them,
the rock star suites.
Rock star suites, right?
And those are pretty darn awesome. I mean, they're in its own right, but they're super expensive. I mean, they're really expensive, but it does come with a lot of privileges and a lot of perks to having that rock star suite. And we'll just mention it now. I guess one in particular that. One of the destinations is the Bimini, which is the island that Branson has, and I do believe that there's like a special pool, or it could be on the ship. I'm not sure.
It's kind of like a
ship.
Yeah, I think
it's like a VIP.
Yeah, there's a VIP section on the ship.
On the ship.
And I think there's also a VIP section actually in
on
the club
island
as well.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a little bit of that kind of New York VIP club exclusivity that comes.
Oh yeah,
for the
it's
folks
who
that
you know.
have the moolah, or who you know, right?
Yeah.
Even get into the VIP section.
Yeah, exactly. So it's for very important people or very innocent people. Innocent. No, but it's really interesting that obviously there's a huge price point when it comes to that suite and kind of what's included with that. So to each his own. I think for us, we're really kind of for me, I'm looking forward to the views and the experience, but also the food. We love to eat. If you have been following us at any point during this journey over the course of a year, we like to eat.
Yes, exactly. And the food's it's probably going to be really good.
Yeah.
I always try to really change that up too.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so.
Oh, yeah. And what's really cool too is one of the things, and I find to be quite interesting, and it actually just makes it a lot easier, is there's no tipping. Right. They have a no tipping policy because they pretty much take care of the tipping pretty much on their own. They cover that, whatever the cost is in your ticket, that basically covers the cost of the tipping and everything else. So there's no tipping, I guess, allowed. They don't even, they may not even take it. Some folks.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a no tipping rule. They kind of put
maybe
in
to get into VIP. That might help. Tipping allowed to get into VIP.
If you guys know of any tips or tricks about the VIP and how to get into that experience, leave it in the comment section for sure.
Exactly.
We'd like to hear that. And if you are joining us, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It does go a long way. We want as many people to see this as possible that may be interested in the Virgin Voyage cruise. So definitely, by all means, let them know for sure. So I think we should probably jump right into, speaking of food.
Sure.
They're basically putting together 20 plus restaurants.
Yes, 20, and there's no buffets, which is unheard of, right? And of course we've gotten used to buffets a little bit, going to Vegas and then really nice buffets there.
Heck yeah.
And of course at the all-inclusive in Cancun with the buffets, and this is probably going to be amazing, right? They have 20 restaurants and it sounds like they've really brought in some great chefs, to come in and actually design the restaurants and menus and all that, and it should be really, really good. They're definitely hyping it up a lot.
Yes,
so we're very excited about it. We want to check it out for you and let you know how they are.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, speaking of who they brought in, before we get into the food, they did bring in some pretty powerful designers, and in particular, I don't think any of them really have true experience in the cruise ship industry, but they've had experience with the boutique chic hotels throughout New York and Europe. And so that kind of brings in a whole, and plus Branson, he probably has a very wildly vivid, colorful, as you can tell from the ship's imagination. So of course the designer will incorporate his flair into things. And I do believe some of the sections on the ship are actually named after some of the things in his life, and we'll kind of get into that in a little bit. But it's
one
really
thing
cool
about Branson is that he won't kind of allow himself to be boxed in to the way it's supposed to be done, which is great. So he'll take it, tear it up, and kind of take a whole fresh look at the cruise industry.
That's how I like it.
That's pretty exciting.
That's just how I like it. Yeah, so let's get into the first place here. Now, the first restaurant, I'll pop it up here for you guys. Or maybe not. The first restaurant is called The Wake, and it's basically a place that's going to be serving sophisticated steaks.
That's their most glamorous and probably fanciest restaurant on the ship, as I understand.
Oh yeah, and it's supposed to be very glamorous in that sense. But here's a nice thing, it's all free. All of
Right,
this,
yeah.
no matter what it is it's all included in that boarding, that
Right.
price that you pay when you book, getting onto the ship. So it's really nice to be able to know that, that's no matter how sophisticated it is, it's free.
Exactly. No, which is great, and that's actually one thing that they're really focused on too. Not nickel and diming.
Yes.
The passengers or sailors, as they're going to call us. We shall be
Exactly.
sailors.
We
right?
will be sailors. Aye, aye, Capitan.
Exactly.
Aye, aye.
Exactly. And so they're don't nickel and dime. Now there are some things that aren't included, but all the food will be included, which is great. So all these nice restaurants, there's no surcharges to go to the fancy restaurants at all. That's all included in your ticket price. And so now the trips are generally 4 or 5 days or so.
Yes.
In terms of cruises.
Yes.
You have 20 restaurants. You have a lot of places to go to.
Yes.
Right. So we have to get up bright and early.
Bright and early.
Get there. Oh, there we go.
Yes,
Look at
there
that.
we go. That is the wake right there. I mean, look at that.
That
It's
looks
got
really
that
nice.
gorgeous piano, the chandeliers. It almost has a it feels I wouldn't say rustic, but it almost has like an old school modern. I guess that's what I would call it. Like a throwback modern kind of feel to it. And it's basically it's got like a chop house atmosphere.
Right, saying mid-20th century.
Exactly. There it is. There it is. And
Pretty
you can
cool
just
looking,
tell,
though.
gorgeous. Imagine coming down those stairs there in shorts and flip flops and just.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I would just jump on that piano and just crank out a tune. You jump on there and start singing. Absolutely.
Yes, thank you very much. I'd be all about it. All about it. But that is just gorgeous in its own right.
It's
I
amazing.
think it does have a lot to offer when it comes to that. Now, this is kind of more on the flip side. So the next one it's a really funky. Now, keep in mind, it probably is going to look. I'm going to ask you guys when you see this, what do you think it looks like? What do you think that looks like to you?
That looks like some demented horror movie.
Yes. That or a candy cane or a peppermint
It's
stick.
like Clockwork Orange.
It's like a peppermint
They're going to
stick.
come out from behind there.
Well, it's called Razzle Dazzle, and it's basically has like a camouflaging patterns that were painted on warships from World War I and World War II. But it's really neat. It's got like this vibrant kind of twist of colors, and I think this is like a largely vegetarian
Yeah,
cuisine.
exactly. It's basically a vegan or a vegetarian restaurant, but you can get non-vegetarian things there.
Yes.
Right, and they say dishes can be made naughty with meat add-ons. Naughty.
Naughty. That's
Right.
the meat add-ons. It can take the vegetables and you can make them naughty. You
Exactly.
can make them naughty. But
Exactly.
it's really neat. I mean, you can kind of see this like entrance transitioning into the restaurant. So it goes from like this peppermint pattern to like a zebra pattern. If you can tell, like all the way in the back. If you look towards the back, it has like this kind of zebra-ish
It is
pattern
cool.
back there.
You can get some boozy shots there too. So if the stripes don't make you boozy enough, have some shots.
Yes.
Then you'll get boozy.
Now, here's an interesting thing, and this
Uh-oh.
may be the first ever on a ship like this. Apparently, Razzle Dazzle is going to be hosting what they call a drag brunch, where you, as like the sailors or us as sailors, are treated like a performance from. These are resident Scarlet Lady drag queen performers that'll be there. So they're going to be putting on a crazy fun show. For sure. So we lived in New York, so they're all over the place, the performers, drag queen performers, and some of the shows they're crazy awesome. So it's pretty cool to kind of be able to experience that drag brunch at the Razzle Dazzle. So
Unbelievable.
that's something
It's gonna be
completely
crazy.
new. I've never heard of that on a cruise
It's gonna
ship
be a crazy
before.
experience.
That they have resident
No,
drag
I know,
performers
exactly.
on that ship. So that's what you can expect when you go to Razzle Dazzle. So if you're a vegetarian or you're a vegan or a meat lover, that's the place to be, especially for vegetarian vegans. I think that might be the restaurant that's focusing for vegetarians and vegans. And get yourself a little drag brunch going on.
Yeah,
Get a
some
little-
boozy
get a little-
shots,
get
a little drag brunch.
Drag queen, blah, blah, blah. So there is another restaurant, which is pretty interesting. And this one is called the Test Kitchen. And take a look at that one. I mean,
Wow.
look at that layout right there. It's just, it reminds you of like a lab.
Well, and that's basically what it is, right? The chef the chef will get basically a list of ingredients, and then they'll just take those ingredients, put something together for the guests, or for not the guests,
Wow. For the sailors.
sailors. Sorry, the sailors.
Aye, aye, Capitan,
right?
for the sailors.
And so think of it as almost one of those shows where it could be a challenge for the chefs to get some ingredients. Now, hopefully, they're put normal ingredients, right?
Yes.
And the chefs will kind of put together, or so that's what they claim anyway. They'll put together, some great food for you. So that'd be pretty cool.
And what I've noticed too is when you're walking, and it starts off like these are all the themes, and it moves into something different as you get past the entrance. Where this almost reminds you, like we said, of kind of like a lab, a chemistry lab, and there might be those the symbols for the different signs of chemistry.
All those things I failed in high school. What do those things mean?
No, they're birch, Utah, artichoke.
Artichoke, exactly.
Achote, farro.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of different things there, which is kind of neat in its own right for sure. But I can kind of see this pattern going on, that there's themes, all kinds of themes throughout the ship.
It'll be fun.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It is a lot more wild than I expected when we booked it.
Yeah, we probably need to test every one of those restaurants to let you know
how
they are.
Heck yeah.
We got to do a lot of eating on this trip.
You damn right.
Right?
A lot of eating. I'm telling you, I'm going to be diving into
it. Next one.
You got to get into
going.
You got to get into the eating. So, what is the next place? The next place is what? Pink Agave?
Pink Agave.
Now, look at this. Before we can just
so cool.
Look at this design. I mean, how cool is
really neat.
This design? I mean, it really does feel like something futuristic in this point. It's almost like a throwback futuristic. It's kind of gives me that vibe. But this is supposed to be what?
It's a Mexican restaurant, actually, which is pretty cool. I'm definitely excited to see how authentic the Mexican restaurant actually is after spending time in Mexico.
Right.
So it'll be a nice test.
Right. From what they're saying, it's supposed to transport you to this vibrant streets in Mexico City.
That's cool.
And it's interesting because if you think about it, we spent a lot of time in Mexico City, especially La Condesa and those areas.
And this is actually cheaper than that. I mean, because it's all included. So.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. So those 50-cent tacos. Those are expensive compared to this.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But it's really neat because it does have that Mexican, they're trying to give you that authentic Mexican vibe.
Yeah, cool.
The mezcal, the drinks and things of that nature.
Got some tortas there. Oh, gosh. We love those street tortas.
You ain't kidding.
Yes.
Now, I'm hoping, this is my hope, because we have so much of an experience with that authentic vibe of the street foods and things like that in Mexico City, that this is going to be like that.
I bet it's going to be good.
Yeah, because you know what? We were in Cancun, and I figured, a lot of the restaurants that were there Mexican weren't truly authentic Mexican.
Which
just
is amazing.
Because it wasn't, they're catering to a broader dynamic, so they had to be careful. And obviously, there's probably rules and regulations that go into certain things that they don't have to abide by in, Mexico.
Exactly. So we're counting on you, Mr. Branson.
Yeah. Keep it authentic. Authentic, okay? But I'm really looking forward to that for sure.
Yes,
That's a speaking of that.
We're definitely testing that one out.
Yeah, speaking of, I just really feel like we love Mexican food.
Oh my God.
That's one of our favorite foods.
Oh, the street food down there all across the country. Unbelievable.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers
we
to
missed
that. We missed that.
Yes.
Cheers, everyone. That's a good segue. That's like a good segue for a cheers. Cheers to that.
Cheers to
that. I like that. So what's the next restaurant? It's
Is that Gone By? How do you pronounce that?
Yeah, that's what's funny? I thought that might have been the name, but I wasn't sure. I was just kind of saying it off funkadelically.
I think it's Gone By.
Gone By, Gone By the Wind. And take a look at that.
And this is actually a Korean restaurant, so you actually cook your own meat.
As you can tell, you're all sitting around a table there, and it looks like they're going to pair you up. So and I believe it's first come, first serve in these places. But look, there's if you can notice there, they have the center grill. Everybody's going to be cooking their meats and everything. Or hopefully you're not a vegetarian because you're not going to be cooking up those vegetables in that same pan as the steaks, because I'm going to have a lot of that steak.
It'll be fun to try out. I got to say, I'm a terrible chef, so me cooking my own food, I don't know if that works for me. You may have to cook my own steak for me.
I can certainly do that for sure. I can do that for sure. It is funny that you think about that, but, really quick, just getting back to this decor really quick. I'm so
cool
amazed.
looking.
Look at the chandeliers. I'm you know me, I really get impressed by that. Being in the real estate industry and things like that. For me, it was always nice to see things that were done to style, kind of complementing and all. The wall, the backsplashes. I just keep seeing this kind of throwback vibe. It just feels like a boutique-ish kind of where it's classic 20s meets futuristic.
Right.
Do you notice that?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Do you guys think that if you think that these places have a throwback vibe, leave it in the comment section below for sure. Like, what are your thoughts on some of the pictures that you've been seeing from this? Is it giving you that throwback vibe? Does it feel modern? Does it feel like, I don't know. It just has that really kind of, I love the style. I think it's really cool. Very inviting for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I really haven't. I think the one time we were at a Korean kind of grill place was here in Austin, Texas, and it was interesting. I think now it's very different where at the end of the session you are going to be paying for your food.
Yeah.
So you want them to cook it for you. I don't know that. For me, I don't know the heat of their grill. I don't know if it's like turned to a certain temperature so that I can get my cook on the way I know my ovens and ranges, things like that work. So it was very different. So I did have to have some assistants, I remember, kind of helping us out, cook that meal to make sure it was done. But here, I think you're on your own. Just make sure,
cook it up.
Cook it up, cut it. If it's not trying to run from you, then
then it should be good. Should be good. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. It should be good. Yeah, that's for sure.
Should we talk about some more of the restaurants? What do you think?
You were just running right through all these puppies.
It's up to you.
Yeah, you could go right. So what is the next one? The next one is extra virgin.
Yeah, it's a
like the olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil.
Sounds Italian.
It sounds Italiano, but it is. It's supposed to be I guess inspired Italian kind of culinary foods. It is funny how they call it like the space kind of features like communal tables and a private dining room inspired by mobsters.
That's very nice.
Wow. Well,
very
let's
nice.
see. That's interesting. What do you think about that?
Well, being Italian myself, I think it's wonderful. Given my heritage and the Italian mobster, that's absolutely what I am. So it's perfect.
I don't know if you want to say that. He's just kidding. Please, for all those watching, he's just kidding.
Exactly.
But I love like the design of this one for sure. I mean, it almost, again, it does have like this kind of throwback vibe, but it almost looks like more of an upscale diner.
Yeah.
It kind of has like an upscale-ish diner.
I see those wine bottles up there. There's something in there.
Just
but
kind of laid across the top.
Yeah.
Very simple. But it does have a really cool look. And it's just another restaurant that you can kind of experience. So it's basically saying there's cuisine that's there for everyone. There's something for everyone on this ship for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, I think there's another interesting one. The next one we're going to talk about is called the gallery,
right?
The galley,
and that's kind of is that like the 24/7 kind of place that's open, at least maybe not 24 hours, but deep into the night.
It's 24 hours.
Oh, is it? Okay,
yeah, it's
great.
a 24-hour kind of American diner experience. So there's a whole, and I think all these are almost like little bites.
Right.
I think these are almost like tapas style restaurants, or in that effect, or maybe just. I'm not sure
they
if
talk
it's
about being like
course.
8 different food stations and food carts kind of thing.
Right.
So being down here in Austin, we have food trucks, lots of them. It's like the Austin food trucks.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
And if they're half as good as that, they'll be pretty damn good.
Yes. That is a good point.
Right?
That's a very good point. I think this galley actually has things too, like if you might even notice off to the left, there's like a sushi station, which is nice. There's all kinds of assortments. There's burgers, there's grills, there's a sushi bar. There's actually a noodle bar and a salad stand here as well. So
this is kind of the closest they get to a buffet.
Yes.
Right, on the ship.
Yes. I think that's absolutely right. I think the galley does give you that feel of...
But it's all made to order.
Yes.
Right, so
which is nice. And they're quick. I mean, apparently we heard it's made to order, but they're fast. So I'm almost going to assume that they have everything pretty much fired up and ready to go. They know the orders. They must, must map out like what portions and things that they must need to get going so no one's waiting. Because I'm curious. My curiosity is there's a lot of... there's a lot of people that's going to be on this ship.
Oh, yeah.
And there's 20 restaurants with that many people on the ship. And I think from what I heard, it's like 1,330 cabins. And that's the cabin. So there could be
double
2
that
people,
or more.
3 people, or 4 people
per
cabin.
Then you have the crew, too.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm really curious to see the functionality of how this goes down. Now, I do know that there is an app. And I believe you can schedule activities. You may be able to make reservations. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
We're still learning. We're still learning too.
This is one of the things we're still learning. So if you know anything about if reservations are required at certain places, let us know for sure. I don't believe so. I think it's kind of first come, first serve. But it very well could be reservations for sure.
Yeah, we're going to check that out too and get back as well. Probably in a future video as well, just with updates as we get closer.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
High five.
But it's a really nice place for sure. I'm actually looking forward to the fact that there's a bakery there as well.
That's nice, yeah.
Yeah, they have like the goods, and that's 24 hours. So, you get those midnight munchies.
Yeah.
You know where I'll be.
That is
good.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the dock. Now, how beautiful is that? I mean, look how gorgeous that is right
Looks
there.
amazing.
You're kind of sitting off. It's like the balcony that is overlooking the ocean. There's cabanas there, as you can see. There's tables
That's
and
awesome,
chairs. That just kind of really, I don't know, it brings you into a gorgeous scene.
Right, you're kind of hanging out there, and they serve you Mediterranean-inspired small plates. So it's like these small little, almost like tapa-style plates, as you're enjoying the amazing view and the sunshine. That's pretty sweet.
That is wonderful. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous, and I think that's a smart thing to do. You kind of take things also to the outside, and I do believe the dock is also a lounge that kind of focuses on relaxation. So they serve food, but it's also very lounge-like as well.
Looks like
so I'm
it.
sure they're going to be playing some really great kind of quiet, relaxing music. Whoa, say. Is it really relaxing? I don't know.
Yeah, sounds like Richard Branson and Virgin.
Yeah, I don't think so. But it's a really, really interesting thing. And the last one that they have there is called the Pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah. It's the pizza place. So it's gorgeous. Let me blow this one up for you guys. Boom. Look how gorgeous that is. That's really gorgeous. I just love, this is kind of I feel like the way they arrange these restaurants as well, it's almost like you have to associate with whomever's there.
Oh,
you know, you're all sitting, if you're only 2 folks, you're going to sit there with 4 others, so you're going to get to know the folks on the ship. And it's really just a place, I think, that people are going to really come together, meeting one another. You're all in this, kind of joining this cruise together. It's basically, you're all coming home. It's like a big family affair.
Absolutely. I am excited. I mean, just kind of going through all this even more, it just gets me more excited about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Great food.
Oh, yeah.
Great atmosphere.
Yes. And that is, you can also build your own pies. I mean, that's kind of the nice thing. It's not just like, you can tell them what you want. You want cheese, you want sausage, you want different toppings. Tell them what you want. These kind of pizzas, just like everything else, seems to be made to order. And that's pretty smart. I think doing something like that actually creates less waste. You know what I mean? So they're not having things sitting out too long. No one's ordering a certain thing and they have to throw it out.
You don't worry about
goes
turnover.
to waste.
You know, they're getting rid of the old stuff. What's going on? And that's actually one thing, too, they've been very conscious of, is trying to reduce waste in their whole footprint, right? Their carbon footprint in terms of pollution and things like that. And so there's no, as part of this whole thing, there's no plastic cups and all that kind of, or plastic bottles and straws and those types of things as well.
Right. I mean, they're basically trying to go with that sustainability.
Exactly.
You know, so their mantra now is less of everything. I think they're using even less fuel to do things. Isn't that right? I believe just the way they're doing things are trying to be better for the system, the ecosystem.
Exactly.
So I thought that was really interesting as well too. Now they do have, obviously, once you're done eating up a storm, there's a lot of activities and a lot of things on the ship that you can do, as well as lounges. And we kind of talked about one of them, which is like the dock.
Yeah.
And the dock is, you saw it. It's gorgeous. It's a very relaxing lounge type atmosphere. Love they have the day beds. It almost looks like a day bed that's out there, cabana style, and the seating area, so you can have a cocktail and drinks and things like that as well.
But on the flip side, they have some pretty killer nightclub kind of stuff too. Not all. Yeah. It's not all relaxation.
Yes.
Now
I used to be in that, when I was a lot younger. So that I want to see that for the 18-year-olds. But it's something if you want to get out and do and shake your booty, you can shake your booty. We might. I mean, it's just it's kind of like you need to experience it for itself. You're on a ship. It's got all these different things. We have to experience it.
Oh yeah.
You guys.
Yeah, exactly. As far as you know.
As far as you know. But one of the lounges in particular, it's gorgeous. You'll see it pop up there. This one is called The Manor. And The Manor is basically their signature nightclub. And it's inspired by basically Richard Branson's history in the music industry. And you can kind of see that. I actually believe his first recording studio was called The Manor. And look at that. I mean, you got those chandeliers, you got the stage. I really feel like, Herbie Hancock or somebody classic or is going to pop out on that stage and sing some 20s music, or Aretha Franklin, or someone's coming out and really putting on a performance there for sure.
Are those speakers on the side of that stage?
Those are speakers.
My God.
Isn't that crazy awesome? There's balconies.
I got to put my little earplugs in these old ears.
You do it. Or sit in the way back, because those are speakers. If you guys see that, those are speakers right there. There's tables around. There's a dance floor. Oh man, it's just one of their signature places. Obviously, they put some emphasis in this because of the fact that there's a lot of ties to the name with Richard Branson. But it's absolutely gorgeous. I think it's like definitely something, you know, we're gonna have to experience.
Oh, of course.
At least once.
At least for 30 seconds too.
That's true.
Maybe 30 minutes.
As long as you have the earplugs,
maybe
we're
longer.
good to go.
30 hours. We could do. Maybe what we do is. We'll do 48 hours in the nightclub.
Oh my gosh.
What's it like? The experience.
What?
Huh?
I can't hear you.
What'd you say?
What?
Huh?
What'd you say? Can't hear you anymore.
Right. That'd be a good video.
Tinnitus.
Right? 48 hours stuck in a nightclub.
That's crazy.
It won't stop.
I tell you right now, it's like those. We've been to places where the music is kind of crazy loud for like 6 hours. And I come out there and I hear like this ringing. 48 hours, I'd be done.
I mean, the number of concerts we've been to, I've destroyed my ears.
Yeah.
You know, our ears are a little
That's
blasted.
true. We sometimes try to get right up front, and that's where the speakers are.
Always.
Yeah, all the time. And your ears are just kind of.
Yes.
So it's kind of crazy for sure.
Gotta get on the rail.
You gotta get on the rail. So this next one here is called Richard's Rooftop.
Uh-oh.
Now look how gorgeous that is.
Now that's VIP.
Now that's VIP.
Yeah.
That is like a VIP. It just feels like exclusive, outdoor, chic, you know, kind of vibe. I mean, just look at that. It just has like this, the bars right there waiting you. It's just, again, the way the chairs and the way the things are positioned, it's almost forcing everyone to really get to know one another. There's no isolation. You can't just run off and do your own thing. It just has like this vibe of everyone. You're on this ship together. Get to know them. I mean, hello. Get to know them. Say hi.
That's right.
But that's Richard's Rooftop. So it's just a really like another amazing aspect of the ship that you can enjoy as well. The music, the vibe. I'm sure it's going to be lively and chill and everything else. But if you're not into any of that as well,
they have a lot of fitness activities too, which is really cool. So beyond the food,
yes,
right, the food's amazing, but after you've eaten for 20 straight hours,
yeah,
you don't do that.
No,
but
take a nap.
You definitely want to take advantage of, get out there, move the body, and there's a lot of pretty cool stuff to do.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm sure stuff that whether you want to do some boxing, or do some yoga, or do some kind of more, general fitness activities. They have that. Look at that.
There you go. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
You have the boxing, kicking bag, arena thingy going on there. It looks like you have, I don't know.
Is that like gymnastics? I know they have some gymnastics. Yeah, that's actually good for me. I can kind of work on my old skills from gymnastics.
I do think there's a couple doctors on board. So in case there should be pretty close by that in case you hurt yourself.
I can do like the pommel horse. Go up there, do some swinging around. Maybe do the rings.
Can you do that?
Oh, back in the day.
Yeah, right.
Back in the day, I was doing a lot of those rings.
Yeah.
Those flips and dismounts.
Let's take a look.
Let's take a
look at them hands. They're like soft as a baby's bum. I don't think so. There's no rings going on there.
Yeah.
But of course, you can see like the theme is pretty much the Branson Virgin theme, the red, the whites, that vibe. But that's just something you can do. It has like that athletic fitness as well.
They have a nice running track.
Yes.
Right up on top, which is great as well.
Exactly.
So cool stuff.
And the gym and everything else, which is great. I just think it's amazing for sure. So I am looking forward to. I mean, there's a lot of things too. There's also the pools. So there's pools, which we actually talked about a little bit earlier, that there's some pools that are exclusive to the suite owners, I guess you would say, or the suite ones who are staying in the Rockstar suites and above.
Excuse me.
Exclusive.
We'll see if we can get a view of it.
Yeah.
Bring in the camera crew. Here comes the camera crew.
Exactly. But it's really great for sure. And I think it's exciting to be able to kind of experience that. I wasn't really planning on, because I'm gonna get my hair all soaking wet, but no.
Right.
I think it's kind of cool to be able to experience all that. Now,
definitely.
Hopefully, it's not super packed in the pool.
Right.
And if it is, you got to choose your hour. So we'll let you know the best time. When we're there, for sure, we'll see the best times you want to get into the pool.
When everyone's clubbing, Then you go to the pool.
That's true. You can sit in the pool with the rest of the old people.
Right. Yeah. Oh, so Rose Firelight has
Says
joined.
new sub. I loved you in Vegas.
Oh,
thank
thank
you
you
so much for that. Really appreciate that. We had a wonderful time in Vegas.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, we're going back soon, so stay tuned. There's a lot more that we have to discover.
We're excited.
And we have a lot of fun things coming up in Vegas, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, but yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate
That's
that.
really nice. Yeah.
You guys show me how happy you can be with traveling with someone you love. Oh, that's great. Yes, it is. It is one of the wonderful things is traveling with my best friend and my husband of many years. So it's wonderful, and we really do enjoy it every step of the way. Even the good, even the bad parts, even the ugly parts. It's all fun.
Good.
It's all good memories.
Exactly.
Right?
Oh yeah.
High five!
High
I'm like stealing your words. High five!
No, that's good. That's good.
Now, let's get into the next part, which is kind of like the grooming and the pampering.
The grooming?
Yes.
You
know, places like massages, spas, things
there.
of that nature. Those are not included, by the way. Those are not included.
Right, they're available, but at an extra cost.
But exactly. It's just kind of a bonus, additional things that you can do that's not really included in your all-inclusive. So you definitely need to...
right, there's some things that aren't included, like, of course, the spa treatments. Mm-hmm. Should we talk about that? Maybe the drinks? Right, because, of course, the food's all included, but the drinks are not, right? So, I mean, when I say drinks, I mean the alcoholic drinks.
Right. You do have, like, the soft drinks,
they're
water,
all
juices,
included.
all those things are included, but Dave's right, the alcoholic beverages are not included. And from what we hear, I think they can range anywhere from $7 to $8 all the way up to maybe $20.
Right.
So, be mindful. Now, I did read something, and don't quote me on this, and maybe you may have heard this, but I did hear that if you wanted to bring, I think, 750 milliliter, 2 bottles of wine for your room, as long as they fit in your bag, you are able to do that. Don't quote me on that. I was doing some research and reading, and I think that might be true. Not sure. Do you know if that's true?
I don't know for sure, but we will definitely find out and follow up and let you know. So
absolutely. So Rose Firelight asks, how long have you been together? So we have been together now almost...
What, about 12 months?
He can be such an ass sometimes.
No.
Especially with his awful
We
jokes.
started videotaping.
No, we've actually been together for 12 years, almost 13
years,
now.
Yeah.
So so I will definitely probably need that massage and spa when we're on the boat, So you just need it. You got see, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Now it's funny, they don't have drink packages.
What do they say?
Oh, Rose Firelight asked, thought that cruising was all inclusive, and some have a drink package. And while the food's all included, the drinks are
I'll pop
not.
into so folks can see that.
Oh,
so
perfect.
she thought
That's
I
great.
thought that cruising was all inclusive, and some have drink packages. Yes, they do. Now, I think in this particular case, they're not including it. That's just kind of what they're doing. They're excluding that. They're keeping the prices of things, I think, fairly reasonable for certain drinks, things like that. But they're not including that. Just like they don't have like the buffets. They really kind of cater to like the high-end quality food in these restaurants, which they're including in that. But they're basically saying the drinks are kind of on your own. For this one. Now, I know other cruises... when it comes to that, they may have the drinks included, like I think Carnival and some other ones.
And there may be surcharges on top of that to get certain packages and food packages. And things like that.
Correct.
It's not that way. At Virgin, basically, all the food's included. All the non-alcoholic drinks are included, basically.
Yes.
But alcoholic, you pay.
Yeah.
That, so.
And if you've been on, or if you know any tasty tidbits about cruises for sure, let us know in the comments below. If you're watching this after this live stream, for sure, leave it in the comments. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments if you're watching this afterwards, or if you are joining us, feel free to ask them in the chat. We will be happy to entertain that. And make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Thumbs ups do go a long way, and we really appreciate that for sure. It just helps everyone to see this video that might be thinking of going on a cruise like this one, which is kind of wild and crazy, apparently.
This is going to be crazy. Crazy cruise. Absolutely.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to mention. So they are going to have a tattoo. It's called Squid Ink. and they have a tattoo parlor that they're gonna have on board.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I might add to my tattoos when I'm there.
You have none. It's called a beard. That's your tattoo.
I'm gonna add my tattoos. Yeah, we're gonna work on it. I can scream.
Oh yeah.
I'll be screaming while they
joking like
put
that
it on.
because everyone's gonna people that.
Yeah. What do you got? What do you got?
What do you got?
It's like nothing as far as you know.
Exactly.
Actually, it's funny. Your Rose Fire Light says regarding the wine, bringing the wine. And you actually may want to put that up. I think it sounds like some cruise liners will actually charge you to open the bottle. I can't imagine Virgin doing that, given their policy of trying not to nickel and dime. But we'll find out, right? If we're on there and we need help opening up one of our bottles that we bring, and they try to charge us, that would definitely be against kind of what we're hearing about the cruise, about Virgin Voyages.
Yeah,
so.
Especially since their mantra is kind of not nickel and diming you.
Exactly.
So their whole thing is they don't want to nickel and dime you on this, so they don't expect you to leave a tip. They actually recommend no tipping because that's all included in your all-inclusive-ish, package. So I agree with Dave. I can't see them doing that.
Yeah,
that
we will let you know for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And we'll bring it just in case.
Heck yeah! We'll bring that for sure. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So we were kind of talking about this earlier, but one of the things I think I love about them is the fact that they are going more towards that sustainability aspect of things, from the no plastic straws, all the different things that kind of go into that as well. And the technology, I think that was something that they did in designing this. I mean, it looks really like a yacht, a very aerodynamic yacht. Yeah. So when you think of aerodynamics, right, you think of how it has that kind of cuts through the wind. It probably takes less fuel to build up speed because it doesn't have some of those barriers. Like you can notice some of the ships, they almost have a little oblong kind of front end. Right. So where in this particular cruise, and I'll kind of show you that what I'm kind of talking about, so it makes a little bit more sense. But I believe if you kind of take a look at the front of that, I mean, doesn't that look like very sleek, very aerodynamic, like a yacht? So it almost kind of just cuts right through the wind, where it's not like holding you back and you really have to push up against that. I mean, I find that with like sports cars, right? Of course. Like certain sports cars, they'll have their framing to be very aerodynamic. Yeah. So
well, they go through a test to kind of reduce the wind resistance,
and that cuts back on the fuel.
Absolutely.
Right. So it's really, really, really neat. I think that this is all guessing. I'm thinking as to why they designed it this way, but I think that would make logical sense.
Oh yeah.
And plus, it's so gorgeous.
And plus, they're also trying to make it look more like a yacht, and so it has that kind of look.
A yacht.
A real yacht.
A real yacht.
A real yacht, not the canoe. It's a yacht.
Absolutely. Read the fine print. Definitely want to read the fine print when we're checking out things for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna let you know.
We should read it before you book.
Yeah, read it before you book. Not afterwards. But we shall be your fine print once we.
We'll let you know.
Yeah, for sure.
We're excited. This will be fun.
I'm really excited.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's gonna be tons of fun.
Yeah.
So what else do we have to kind of talk about here?
We kind of went over some of the major points, for round one here. And, we'll come back with more information as we get closer, right, to the sail date. But I'm definitely excited about our first cruise.
I know.
And our first cruise being with Richard Branson's Virgin Voyages.
Yes, and it's the inaugural.
Cool. And maiden voyage.
We don't know, we kind of tried to look to see, obviously there's going to be shows. I mean, as the sailings go on, they have like major DJs, they have artists, performers. Now keep in mind, Richard Branson actually had, Virgin Records, and he was in the industry. So there's going to be some pretty cool performers. Now I'm going to almost assume there's some top-notch performers that might be on this inaugural launch.
I think so.
And just may not be seeing it as it gets closer to the date, whether it's kind of finalizing things or they don't want too much paparazzi or whatever else is going to be there. But I don't know.
They say expect some surprise announcements. So
yes.
We'll see.
So I'm really excited about that. Exactly. Fingers crossed. Yeah. For sure.
But it's definitely that kind of clubby vibe a little bit.
Yes.
Right? A little different from some of the other cruise ships.
Yes.
Where you're going in there, and they talk about trying to cater to that kind of, maybe kind of young or young at heart, age bracket,
Right.
more so than
Right.
maybe kind of the obviously it's adults only, so it's not the families,
Right.
and things like that.
And they really make it so that it's for everyone. I mean, if you are an older person and you want to be young at heart, you want to have fun, I think that's kind of what this kind of theme is all about here. It's really just to kind of say, well, it's an adults only, 18 plus, but if you can shake it till you make it and shake it and bake it, then shake it and bake it.
Yeah, look at us, you know.
Hey, shake it and bake it, baby, shake it and bake it. But I think it's really cool. Now, one thing Dave mentioned before, they kind of, it reminds me a little of Disney in a way, where they call them cast members
that's true,
and backstage cast members and crew members, things like that. Well, they're kind of adopting you as being a sailor, like we mentioned. So your term is a sailor. They also have terms, which is the money. What is it called? It's like right now, if you're booking if you decide you want to join like the inaugural, the pre-launch, and the main launch, I think between now and April 1st. If you book your cruise, you get credits. And
right,
I think it's
they
called,
give you some credits.
I forget the term that they call it.
I forgot too.
Yes, but there's all kinds of really cool, quirky names that they give you, which is like a credit that you get depending on your suite level. Like if you're a rock star suite, I think they give you a $400 credit to be able to use towards things like cocktails, alcoholic beverages, spas, things like that as well.
Right.
If you're in a terrace one, I think it's like $200. And I think anything below that, it's like $100.
Yeah,
so
like
I think it's really a nice kind of thing that they're looking to do. So clearly they may not be sold out just yet. So if you're thinking of joining, join the crew.
Oh yeah.
Aloha. But yeah, I think that probably about covers it.
I think so. I mean, well, one thing we didn't mention, it goes along the lines of not nickel and diming, like Wi-Fi is included.
Yes.
Right, things like that. So your Wi-Fi is all included, no extra fees on that.
Yes, and it's also included on the island. So I think there's free Wi-Fi on the island as well. Now you can...
That's like basic Wi-Fi.
Basic Wi-Fi. Yeah. Like if you need to upload something or you're going to live stream or do something there, you may want to bump up, and that's a fee. So definitely something you want to consider depending on your usage. I think for us it may not necessarily be needed, although we may go live. Depends on what kind of crazy fun stuff is going on.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we're really excited about, this and kind of learning more as we go. We may actually, I mean, it's a little while longer. There may be some more information coming up. We may do another one of these.
Oh, sure.
We may put a
post
video out.
A video too.
Exactly, about this for sure. Because I think it's important to kind of, know before you go.
Oh, yeah. And this is also, it's the first Virgin Voyages, first Branson cruise line.
Yes.
This is exciting.
I know.
It's very exciting.
It's our first cruise.
Yes.
On the first cruise of Virgin Voyages. That's crazy. With the drag brunch and everything else.
Perfect.
It's kind of crazy. High five. Well, if you are still with us, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Be sure, if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up. We want to say thank you so much for joining us. We typically try to stay on for about an hour, but I think we kind of covered what we wanted to cover. We were kind of excited to get this information out since we were kind of just fresh. We actually just kind of finalized things as well. We might be doing some things in Miami. So we're just kind of really excited about this, and I know it's just going to be fun. I'm looking forward to the food, the fabulous nature of things.
The craziness. Oh, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. So again, thank you so much. And if you haven't, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get notified every time we post a new live stream like this, as well as a new video. Now, we do try to post videos every Tuesday and every Sunday with a live on Wednesday. Sometimes, depending on our schedule, that might get changed a little bit, but we do post videos 2 to 3 times a week. So thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate that, and we will see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.